Hi, this is Joe Kawano from New Media Design Studios and Author by Design, and I want to really quickly show the Facebook branding template that we've been using to put together timeline covers, profile pictures, and app covers for authors and real estate agents and the other um, clients that we have. And the reason we have this template, rather than simply putting together individual files for the cover, for the profile picture, for the app tabs, is because of the really beautiful kind of compositions you can make when you put together a holistic design that actually spreads between all the different images and gives a sense of unity in bringing it all together. If you aren't planning on doing that, you don't necessarily need this template, although it does help you keep the right sizes. Let me just show you the elements of the template really quickly. Um, First off, you've got your basic outlines, which cover Facebook, basic look, and it's basically like a wall with a series of windows in it, through which you can see the rest of your design. Um, you have you have this thing that covers the app covers, so you can cast shadows and you can turn shadows on like that. If you're going to use any layer styles or any shadows or anything on any part of your document, I do recommend you merge down the document after turning off some of the extraneous bits before you export things. Um, a couple things, of course, there's the grid here, that gives you the ability to see if you've got maybe too much text. Facebook is very stern about having more than, I think it's 20% text, so if you've got 5 of these boxes full of text, then you're good, but if you've got more than that, you may not be. Although Facebook, I think, has a more sophisticated algorithm than just having boxes. This is just a way of uh, calculating and kind of looking at it yourself to make sure you're okay. But it's 20% of your actual image being text. There's this preview area that's sort of whited out, and that will show you which part of your finished project is going to be visible when the page is promoted on a Facebook page or on a Facebook timeline or elsewhere, and that's the section in between the white area. Now, just to give you an idea of once you've made your design on different layers, how you export it, because this is a little bit of an interesting process. We could use slices, but because we've got images that are like behind other images, not simply adjacent to them, and they have sort of funny, like, discontiguous sort of shapes. There's a slightly more involved process than just using slices. Although we probably could have used that if, let's say, we just had a profile picture and we just had an app cover. So, as you can see, we have like one set of material kind of entering into all of these 3 different spaces. But if we're going to export um, the well, let's start with an app cover. Let's just demonstrate that. If we're going to export any part, this is what we would do. We go to this appropriate sizers. These are little files in your document that actually are the exact size of the outputted file. And what they do is they just sit there, and you can select the pixels of them. This is pretty simple. Select pixels, and then from there, just crop it down to the size you need, and I'll show you how to do that really quickly. Here, I've left these app sizers in here. So if you do merge everything down, if we did want to merge everything down, we find all the actual content, and we just merge all of it together. And we don't want to merge in the template necessarily, but let's just say we've got this. This is what we're looking at right here. We just select pixels right here, right click on the layer, preview thumbnail, and then image crop. It'll actually crop us right into that. If we wanted the drop shadow from the sizers to be present here, we would have had to have merged that down. Any layer styles actually should be merged down first. Then go to Save for Web, which is Command Shift Alt S, I believe, or Control Shift Alt S on a PC, and go to Save for Web, and just go ahead and save it down. that's pretty straightforward. Not that hard. And when you're done, make sure you don't save. Go back to before you merge the layers, so you don't save over all your editable layers. Now, one of the tricky things is when you have your timeline cover. Some people don't actually want their timeline cover to have this integration quite this way, because on mobile your profile picture is actually kind of up here, and I don't have that piece integrated in, so I haven't figured out a way to really integrate that. So actually for this one, what we may want to do is not have quite the same kind of overlapping. Something like that is what we ended up doing. So for the exporting of the timeline cover, what we do is we just find again where our basic outlines are. Kind of want to turn those off, so we just have our original image. Obviously there's some sort of messiness around the sides there, but none of that will show up when we're done here. So let's go to our main stuff, and I can actually select pixels of the cover. Go to image, crop. So far so straightforward. Just you see how we've eliminated some of the stuff in this export that actually don't belong on this final image. So let's go ahead and save this for web. There's a little bit of a white line there. Normally you could go in and fix that. I'm just going to say this is the general idea of what you do, and save that out. Again, go back before you flattened everything, and I do want to show the way you would export your profile picture, because that's actually a little bit more to the point there. Basically, sidebar is if you're going to do mobile, if basically you're going to have to think about how it looks on a mobile device, and your profile picture, rather than being here, will be up here on a mobile device. You're going to have to make sure that if you want to integrate your profile picture, it has to integrate, but the timeline cover behind it has to be clean, so that you can clearly move the profile picture up to this position, or allow it to be moved, and have this area of the timeline cover to actually be clean without stuff on it. That's the general idea. Well, let's say we were going to just go ahead with this design. Here's what it would look like. Same deal. Image, crop it in, and then Command Shift S or Shift Command S, save for web. Here's where it gets interesting. It's actually at 160, but Facebook only allows things of 180 pixels or higher to be imported, even though they will shrink it down to 160. Gotta wonder why. Maybe they're not a fan of these integrated designs. Who knows? But just size it up to 180 here in the image size section. Go ahead and save that out. And again, don't save your document. Go back to the place before you cropped it and save from there. That's pretty much all it is on using this Facebook template. If you have any suggestions on how to make it better, be happy to hear it. This is Joe Kawano from New Media Design Studios and Author by Design.